Let me call this meeting to order. This is a special call meeting. We must do our second reading of our 2014 budget, and so we will take care of the minutes in the regular schedule meeting. The regular schedule meeting for the 11th we cancel because it's Veterans Day. On surgery, I'm going to have eye surgery on the 25th, so I can't be there. Need to have that meeting, move it to the 21st at 6:30. Is there a motion to do that?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ham. Any further discussion? Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Mr. Kestner?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
We'll have that meeting at 6:30 on the 21st here. I'll be having eye surgery on the 25th. Got eye surgery on the 11th. I'll be able to see the clock back there and know that it's not really 12 o'clock. So we will set that. The election's over. It's time to make peace, and I spoke with Craig Crawford this morning, and I read his article in the paper. And it is, the election's over. It's time to make peace for the citizens of the city of Fort Oglethorpe. I'd like to congratulate Paula Stenick. I've called to congratulate her, left word on her voicemail. Congratulate Craig Crawford. I spoke with him this morning. Wish him well. It's going, Earl Gray sitting here. Congratulations, Earl.
Thank you.
So, and I'd also like to thank the members of this council that have worked so very hard for this city. Lewis Ham has been not only a good mayor pro tem, he's really sincerely helped me with TPO. The getting of the grant, the $3 million grant, which is going to happen to revitalize that stretch of Highway 27, which is so very, very, very important for the growth of this city. But today is the first day of the rest of our life, so it's time to move on. And City of Fort Oglethorpe's a great place to live. We got great citizens in this city. We need to take care of them. As I've said 100 times before, they are the owners of this city. They're the shareholders. They have elected us to transact the business of their city. We got a lot of great people in this city. We got a lot of people that have done a great deal to make this city a great place. One sitting right back there. You, don't turn around and look, Pat. Could you come forward, please?
Where do I stand?
Pat Silcox, you've been a tremendous help to me. You've been a tremendous help on the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Chickamauga. Without you, we wouldn't have had the 21 flags. I saw a picture of you, of a video of you standing there with flags going up on the flag on the side of the road. You have done a fantastic job, you and Harold both, in the history of this city. And I'd like to give you a little award to put on your wall. And this is just, let me present this to you, Pat Silcox. Thank you for what you have done, you personally have done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you get to the winter of your life, like I am, I'm almost 75 and retired. And I always say when you're retired, you don't have any day off. You just spend it. But my lifetime has been devoted to like my parents were. My daddy was a minister. My mother was a nurse. They were giving people. And I like to think I'm a giver and not a taker. In life, we've got, it's like a ball game, sandlot ball game. We've got those takers that want to be up at the front doing everything, and we've got those people that are just part of the team. So I like to thank my parents at this Thanksgiving time of the year for teaching me to be a giver. And thank you.
Thank you, Pat Silcox. Let's give her a hand. We've talked about the Thursday meeting on the 21st at 6:30 p.m. right here. Is there anything we need to do in executive session, Mr. Stoltz?
No, sir.
Okay. Zoning matters have none. Second reading on the ordinance approving the budget. Mr. Stoltz.
Ordinance number 2013-23, ordinance to approve the 2014 fiscal year budget for the city of Fort Oglethorpe. Whereas the duly elected governing authority of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the state of Georgia, the official code of Georgia annotated 3635-3, and the charter of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, to adopt reasonable ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, welfare of the citizens of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and whereas the duly elected governing authority of the city of Fort Oglethorpe is vested in the city council composed of a mayor and 5 council members, and whereas it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the city of Fort Oglethorpe that the following shall constitute the 2014 fiscal year budget. Whereas that all ordinances or parts ordinances in conflict hereof are hereby repealed. Whereas that if any of the ordinances shall be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity and unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of the ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Whereas this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by mayor and council, first reading this 28th day of October 2013, second reading the 6th day of November 2013.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval of LMIG paving. Mr. Silcox.
This is for the paving for $84,950 that we got, and this is the reading to let us go ahead on that. The only thing that we're not going to be able to do, Mr. Mayor, is cross streets, or there just wasn't enough money. But we will be paving these through Tally Construction, which is working in the area now, and we've done business with them before in the county. So I would like to get the okay on this, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Ham.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kistner. Any further discussion?
Is that a total price quoted from Tally, Mr. Silcox?
Yes.
So we will have to come up with 30% of that, is that correct?
No, that's how much we can spend from what I understand, Mr. Gregg.
I thought we had 30, were responsible for 30%. If that's the state funded,
That's the state, okay, 30%, okay.
Okay.
and Cross Street, we're not being able to do it because they're going to be doing some water line, sewer line work over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further, Mr. Gray, anything further?
No, sir.
Any further discussion? Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Mr. Kistner?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimous. Next item on the agenda, proposed approval for the charter referendum. Back when the city, members of this council appointed a charter review committee to study and review the provisions of our charter in the city of Fort Oglethorpe, this council made a commitment to the citizens of the city of Fort Oglethorpe that those changes would be put on a referendum and the citizens would be allowed to vote on those since they are the owners of this city. The Charter Review Committee has turned their recommendations in, and they'll be made, I think they've already been made public for everybody to look at, but there'll be many further meetings and discussion and availability of the citizens to look at it. Like we need an approval to set an election, ask Mrs. Lucky to set an election to approve, let the citizens vote on those charter review recommendations.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kistner. Any further discussion?
I've got a couple of questions about this.
Okay.
Is this the city's appointed charter review
Yes, it
committees
is.
that
Yes, it
they'll be
is.
voting on?
That's the one we made a commitment to let the citizens vote on.
And once the citizens votes on that, will it go into play, or will there be an override of the?
It's my understanding from Mr. Stoltz that once the citizens vote on it, it kicks in. Am I correct, Mr. Stoltz?
There is no clear-cut legal opinion with regard to it. the legislature granted to the city the right to review its charter and to make changes. That's in our charter now. In addition, the legislature has granted home rule, which basically provides that we can amend our charter with respect to certain items as long as we don't change the structure of government. So basically at this point in time, it may come down to a decision by somebody other than me or other than the legislature. But of course the citizens can't vote on it unless y'all pass it that they can vote on it, put it on the election agenda. And it may be, don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Well, March would be the earliest date, I understand from Mrs. Lucky, to set an election. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
If it's going to be voted on by the people, Mr. Stokes, does it have to be approved by Secretary of State first?
No, sir.
Okay, and one part of it where it's changing and saying that the mayor is no longer part of the council, that in fact is changing the legislative structure of this charter, and I would think that would have to be approved by Secretary of State.
It's my understanding that where it references that was just simply a clarification that the mayor wasn't a part of the council. See, it was unclear in the charter whether the mayor was part of the council or not, because sometimes in parts of it it was, and parts of it wasn't, and it's the charter committee's attempt to do a clarification.
Okay, and based on what you said earlier, that it may or could or could not be challenged.
Yes, sir.
Would it not in fact be best to go through the process, send it to the Secretary of State, let them approve it? Then you would not have to worry about it being challenged?
That you can do that.
That's all I have.
Anyone else? Anything further? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kistner?
I feel like anytime we have a chance to let the citizens vote on something, we ought to let them have a say in it, so yes.
Mr. Gray?
Well, I'm reluctant to say yes, in fact, that what Mr. Stokes just said, that it could in fact be challenged. I'd rather it go to the people with it being approved, if that's at all possible, and we've certainly got the time between now and March to do that.
You need a vote?
And I'm going to vote yes and make a recommendation. We in fact send it to the state and get it approved instead of having an election to where it could be, according to our attorney, in fact, appealed and waste money on an election that wouldn't be meaningful, really.
Okay, so let's make sure that when Mr. Gray has made a sub-motion, so that has to be voted on before, it has to get a second, it has to be voted on before you go to the main motion.
Do we have a motion or second on Mr. Gray's amendment motion?
I'll second it. Explain that to me one more time, Mr. Gray. What you were just.
I think Mr. Stokes can explain it. He's the attorney.
Basically, what the position is the motion is to send the recommended charter to the Secretary of State for approval to be voted on by the citizens of the city of Fort Oglethorpe before that, to get their sanction before we actually put it on the ballot.
Okay.
Is that right, Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Yeah, I disagree with that, so I'll vote no on seconding that.
Okay. Is anyone going to second Mr. Gray's?
I second it, but I'm not going to.
Well, we're going to vote. Okay, I thought you were going to withdraw your second.
Well, I second it to discuss it. But if we want to vote on it, we can vote on it.
Okay. Any further discussion on the amending motion? Mr. Ham?
No.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Mr. Kistner?
No.
Mr. Smith?
No.
Amending motion failed. Now on the primary motion, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kistner?
Yes.
Mr. Gray?
No.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Motion fail or pass 3-1 with one dissenting vote on giving the citizens a right to vote. Next item on the agenda, city manager's report.
I have none this time, Mr. Mayor.
City council comments, Mr. Smith?
No.
Mr. Kistner?
Yeah, I'd just like to say I want to congratulate all the candidates that won yesterday. That's going to be our new council. The men and women, I believe they'll do a great job. I've known Craig Crawford for many, many years. His son and my daughter are in the same class at Battlefield Primary, and they're big buddies, and I think he'll do a wonderful job. And Miss Stennett seems like she's eager to go to work, and Mr. Gray here is always ready. I hope that even though they may have disagreements, that everybody gets along, and I hope their whole time in office is an excellent experience for them. I just would like to say, and I hope everybody would just pray for the council, pray for the community, and I'm personally going to be praying for them myself. I hope any decision that they ever make, I hope none of them has to go through what I've went through, being viciously, verbally attacked by some of our local business owners here in this town. It's been a nightmare. I'm glad it's over. Good riddance to this all. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Kistner. Mr. Gray?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Ham?
I'd just like to congratulate all of them too. And I think I've served 8 years with integrity. I have not tried to slander anybody, as I have been slandered in the past. And I just wish the best for the city of Fort Oglethorpe, but we'll just go on with a new day. I said that if the Lord wanted me in there, I'd be in there, and if it was that he didn't, I'd take it as his will and move on to the other things that I've got to do, and we'll just see how the next 4 years turns out. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Ham. Citizens petitions, we have nothing. Is there a motion to?
No, wait a minute, Mayor. I just want to let you know that because of the passing of the Sunday sales,
Right.
For on-premises and retail sales, because of the way the resolution was drafted in regard to us placing it on the agenda, I will be issuing an opinion today that the first day to have Sunday sales will be this Sunday.
This coming Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ham. All those in favor say aye. Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Pat Silcox. We've got you a box for that award, and I sincerely thank you again for what all you've done. You've been a huge, huge help to this mayor.